Alright, if you're getting started in the fragrance world and you felt overwhelmed by terms like sillage, EDP, base notes, you are not alone. This world of scent has its own language, and today we're going to break down the 5 most essential concepts you need to know to buy, wear, and understand your fragrances. By the end of this video, you'll be speaking the language like a pro. So let's dive into Perfume 101. The first thing we want to talk about is concentration. Concentration simply refers to the percentage of fragrance oil mixed with alcohol in the fragrance. The more oil, the longer it typically lasts, and the higher the price. So we have 4 main categories here. We have an eau de cologne or EDC, eau de toilette or EDT, eau de parfum, EDP, and extrait de parfum, which is also known as just pure parfum. Okay, so those 4 categories. The weakest with the lightest concentration is the eau de cologne, the EDC, and it usually has 2 to 4% oil. This is great for like a quick refresh, but it will fade very fast. And it's also not super common, it's more like a body splash. The second one is the eau de toilette or EDT, and this has about 4 to 8% oil. It's very affordable and projects well, but just for a few hours. So we do see some eau de toilette. If you have those, they're like cheaper brands, they usually will be eau de toilette. Also for younger audiences. Now, the most common for the brand houses that you see out there is going to be an eau de parfum. So this is going to be 8 to 15% fragrance oil. It's richer, it's longer lasting, and makes up the heart of many designer collections, as I said. So if you're looking for a designer fragrance, they are usually going to be an eau de parfum. And then the strongest one is the extrait de parfum or just perfume parfum. This is usually 20 to 30% oil. Those are dense, luxurious, and they last a lot longer on the skin. They are also priced very high. So they are a little bit more rare. Sometimes you're going to have the same fragrance in the parfum and then the eau de parfum variation, where the eau de parfum is going to be like more common, and then the extrait de parfum is more like a niche type of not for the masses, let's say that, because it's going to be a lot stronger. Okay, now that you know all about concentration, let's talk about the scent pyramid and how the fragrance evolves. Okay, so every time you spray a fragrance, the fragrance will evolve in 3 main ways. So first, as soon as you spray, you're going to get the top notes, okay? Those are the scents you smell immediately, and it's also known as the opening. They're usually very light, sharp, and fresh, like citruses, so bergamot, lemon, or light fruits. And they set the tone, but they are just a first impression. So that's why I always say never spray a fragrance and buy it based on that first spray, because here you're only going to get the top notes and they are going to fade in 5 to 15 minutes. Okay, so first spray, top notes, and then once the fragrance starts settling on the skin, you're gonna get all what is known as the middle notes or the heart of the fragrance. This really is the core of the scent. Sometimes it will make up to 80% of the fragrance composition. So here is what really matters in a fragrance, the heart. These notes will appear once the top notes fade, and they are robust, well-rounded, and they will often feature florals or aromatics. And that's when you decide if you like a fragrance or not. Do not decide by the top notes, wait until the middle notes develop. So that's why you have to spray the fragrance on yourself, and you have to walk away, and you have to let it linger before you make a decision on a perfume. And I also recommend you usually do that more than once. Okay, so we said it's a pyramid. There's the top notes at the very top, the middle notes, and then we have the base notes as the base of the pyramid. Those are the heaviest molecules and the longest lasting part of the scent. So they will start to appear after half an hour, but they will be there, 5+ hours later. So those are rich, deep ingredients like vanilla, amber, sandalwood, oud. So if you spray a fragrance and the next day you're still smelling it, the next day you're going to smell in the base notes. So that's why, a fragrance, you need to wear it for a while before you decide if you like it or not, because every fragrance will develop with the hours. And it's the whole package that you need to like. Okay, moving on to number 3, performance. Now, there's 3 elements to performance that people usually mix up together. So there's longevity, there's projection, and that's sillage. They are usually, as I said, kind of people talk about them at the same time, but they are different. So longevity is, simply put, how long you can smell the fragrance on your skin before it completely disappears. And it has to do with the fragrance oil concentration, as I said before, if it's an eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, or parfum. So it has to do with that, but it also has to do with the base notes, because like heavier base notes, they tend to give more longevity to a fragrance. So everything that we discussed before matters here. Okay, so that is longevity, how long the fragrance will stay. The next one is projection, and projection is how far the scent will push off your body and into the air. If someone has to lean in close to you to smell it, that's intimate projection. If people can smell you from the next room, that's beast mode. Okay, so that's projection. You are in a place, and how far away can people smell you? And then the last one is sillage, which is kind of similar, but not the same thing as projection. Sillage is more the scent cloud that is left behind you as you walk past the room. So if you're walking past and people, after you walk past, people can still smell it, the scent lingers in the air, that means that your perfume has good sillage. And so longevity, projection, sillage. All right. 4 here, fragrance houses. So we hear a lot about designer and fragrances or niche houses. Those are different things. So designer houses will be more mainstream. Those are usually affiliated with a fashion house. So like Dior, Chanel, all those houses that make clothing. They also have their own fragrance line, and they are widely available in department stores. And niche houses, on the other hand, they are typically produced on a smaller scale, and they focus on more unique artistic compositions rather than mass appeal. So that's why whenever you hear, no, this is a niche fragrance, it probably means, well, you have to try every fragrance before. I would never recommend that you blind buy anything, but that's especially important in niche houses because those fragrances are usually not made for everybody to like them. They are made to appeal to very niche audiences. All right, so those are the main things. The last tip that I wanted to add here is preservation. You want to make sure that your fragrance lasts for years. You want to keep it in a cool, dark, and dry place. Heat, light, and humidity are the enemies of any fragrance. So, biggest no-no here is storing a fragrance in a bathroom because the spikes in temperature and the humidity will kill your fragrance. Drawers or closets are your fragrance's best friend. Whenever you watch a YouTuber video where they have hundreds or thousands of fragrances all exposed in these glass shelves, that's beautiful, but that's not the best way to store a fragrance for longevity, okay? You want it in a drawer that is closed and that doesn't get any light. And a pro tip here is that fridge is not a good place to store a fragrance. While it may appear that it's a good place because it's cold, the opening and closing of the fridge can create condensation, and that will spoil the fragrance faster than if it was stored safely in your wardrobe. Okay, so unless you are a pro and you have a specific fridge, your kitchen fridge is not a place to store your fragrances. All right, that's it from me today. I hope this was helpful. If you have any tips that I missed, please add them to the comments and like and subscribe to support the channel.